Hi, Gray. What are you up to right now?
Hi, Vogue. I am just leaving the Baltimore station.
What is the Baltimore station?
The Baltimore station is an all-male veterans shelter that I work at.
How long have you been working here?
I have been working here since last October of 2024.
And what do you do here?
I teach art class, and then I have a new partner joining me named Noah, so that's going to be fun.
Should I flip the camera around? Or should I be more professional than that?
It doesn't matter. That's Noah.
That's me. Okay. Why did you start this work?
I started this work because during one of my classes, I was trying to figure out part of the housing issue in Baltimore, and then I called the station and they asked me if I teach a class, and I just said yes. So that's how it happened, but let's go ahead and get in the car and drive back to Micah.
So Gray, you go to Micah, right?
I do. I go to the Maryland Institute College of Art here in Baltimore City.
And why Micah out of all the schools?
Well, I used to go to Hendrix College and didn't love that. And so I started working as a counter girl for Estee Lauder. And then my parents just said hey, why don't you try to go back to college? And they sent me this college and I applied and I got in. So it's been a very untraditional academic track.
All right, so what about after Micah? What are you hoping to do once you graduate?
I am really hoping to get back into film. I got my technical certificate in high school, so yeah, I'd love to do costuming and makeup in film.
Very exciting. So high school, where are you from originally?
I am from the Ozarks in Arkansas.
All right, and do you come from a big family?
I do. My mom's side is pretty small, but my dad is one of 8 kids.
One of 8 kids.
Yeah, I have a lot of cousins, but yeah, I come from a very big family.
Wow, so with all those family members, how often do you get to see them?
Quite a bit. My family's everywhere, so everyone in my immediate family doesn't live in the same state, and so I have to travel cross-nationally to go see them, but usually once or twice a year.
Very cool. And speaking of traveling all over the place, what is one of your favorite places to go and visit?
My favorite place in the whole wide world is New Orleans. I love New Orleans.
And when you're traveling and doing things for fun, what kind of hobbies do you have outside of work?
I really love anything to do with nature and animals, so I love to go camping a lot. And I do a lot of volunteer work. I especially like to volunteer for animals at animal shelters, stuff like that.
So you would see yourself living in the future maybe in a more woodsy area, or what do you picture for your future?
I would like maybe 2 houses. I would like to live both in the city and out in the country, like somewhere downtown and then somewhere totally secluded.
So while we're talking about you, what is one of your worst habits?
Ooh, probably self-degradation, but then also procrastination, not feeling confident enough that I can do the work.
Right, well, flip side, what are your strengths?
I would say I always find a way to get it done and figure it out.
Well, since you're so good at getting things done, why don't you tell us what are some goals that you had for yourself?
I really want to improve my health. So a really big goal for me is to try to kind of figure out a routine and make sure I'm going to the gym every day and sleeping right and eating right. So, yeah.
So speaking of things you're trying to improve, your health, your goals, what's one thing that you try to do every single day?
I try to always do something nice for somebody every day. It keeps your spirits up.
That's a great answer. That is a great point. What is an important cause to you? Speaking of all this volunteer work you do.
I would say really anything working with people who kind of have a disadvantage in life currently. And so I've also been really passionate about people who have been incarcerated, especially juveniles, and the education surrounding that, making sure everybody has equal access to education.
So, if you could choose, who is one person that you'd like to have dinner with, dead or alive?
Oh my gosh. Maybe Jesus, just to see if he's real,
That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
What's your favorite time of day?
I love like dusk.
Dusk. What's your favorite day of the week?
Monday. It's a new start.
Oh. What's one of your biggest fears?
One of my biggest fears, probably that I won't get to do a lot of cool stuff before I die. I want to make sure that I live life fully before I go.
So, since you said that, what's one thing that you definitely want to do before you die?
Ooh, probably jump out of a plane. You know, something a little risky.
With a parachute on, or is that going to be
I
the
mean,
last act?
if I'm terminal, might as well go all the way.
Go out with a view.
Oh, yeah.
What is some advice that you would give to your teenage self?
I would say don't be so hard on yourself and just know that everything's going to work out and that you're strong enough to figure it out.
Would you change anything about your past if you could?
I used to think that I would, but honestly, as I've gotten older, I think that everything has a purpose. So no, I wouldn't.
And who is a person that you really, really look up to?
I really look up to like anybody that's been a refugee. I know that's vague, but I've met a lot of people from Ukraine recently, and just the amount of stuff they've been able to do in their life since immigrating to the United States is insane. Just seeing them prevail through that adversity.
All right, we've arrived.
Yes, we have.
Speaking of travel, what's one place you really want to travel to in your life?
Ooh, I really want to go to Greece or Italy. Maybe if I had to pick, Greece.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
You talked earlier about really liking animals. If you had to name one, what's your favorite animal?
A really big dog. Like a really big dog. Hey, look.
And what's one piece of advice you would give to anyone, dog or human?
Probably be humble. Like, in the sense of don't judge. I don't know how to put it into words, but
that makes sense. And what's your favorite music right now? What have you been listening to? What's on rotation?
I am listening to a lot of like 60s hits because it's all happy. And I listen to a lot of outlaw country.
All right. Okay, one last question. If you could be any animal, which animal would you be?
Probably a horse.
A horse?
Yeah, because they can play with people, but then they can also just like
run wild and free.
Yes, and kick them off. Yep.
All right. Signing off from Vogue. Thank you, Gray.
Bye, Vogue.